Hi there, my name's Cathi from Software Solutions, and you're watching one of a collection of videos that support my Microsoft Excel Level 3 data manipulation course. Please check out the earlier videos because they do build on each other, and so you may need to have a look at those to get the flow that we're taking on here. We've got the file Excel 3-1 open, and we've done a lot in this file. I actually want to save it, Control S, and I want to open up the file we created in the very first video called Excel 3-2. So I'm going to go Control O to open a file. Let me just try that again. And here's Excel 3-2. Okay, which is just a pristine copy of the Excel 3 file that accompanies your course notes, etc. Now, the last video we looked at a feature called subtotals, and it had pluses and minuses where we could collapse and expand the amount of detail that we wish to see. And I incorporate those pluses and minuses, they call it outlining, in a lot of my spreadsheets when they get a lot of data so that people can easily manipulate what they're seeing. So for example, if I took you to sales, and let me just zoom in on this a bit. Okay, so I want to be able to collapse January, February, March and just hone in on the first quarter to print it or to view it. And I find that people really struggle if I say to them, look, just select column C, D, and E and hide it. Hiding's not usually the issue, it's unhiding that they then struggle with. So rather than ask people to hide and unhide rows and columns, I actually give them pluses and minuses to collapse and expand the amount of detail they want to see. So for example, I'll select C, D, and E, and I want to be able to hide that. So I go to data in the ribbon and I choose group. It's a button on the right hand side. When I click on the group button, I suddenly acquire a minus at the top. What that means is now whenever I hit that minus, I can collapse and hide January, February, March because that's what I had selected. And if I hit the plus, I can expand the first quarter and look at January, February, March. Let's do that again. Let's highlight G, H, and I, and let's group that. So now I can collapse the second quarter and or the first quarter. I did this recently with a really big work planner where we had 52 weeks in a year, and each week had at least 7 days. And so 365 days, 366 days, plus you had extra columns of people's names. It got really wide really quickly. So we added these pluses and minuses. They could collapse week 1, collapse week 2, expand week 5, and just hone in on that and just print that. Really think about how you could apply this to your spreadsheets. Now, it doesn't only work with columns. Let me just hit this little 2 and expand the columns. You've got a 1 here to collapse them. But if I expand them, it also works on rows. Let's say I want to hide rows 4, 5, and 6. So I select those 3 rows and I just group them. So now I have the ability to collapse the total cars if I don't need a breakdown, or expand the total cars and give a breakdown by compact, mid-size, or full-size cars. Let's do it to rows 9, 10, and 11. I want to be able to group those. So now I have the ability to collapse and expand trucks. I could use the 1 to collapse them both, the 2 to expand them both, the 1 up here to collapse the quarters, and the 2 to expand the quarters. Much easier for people to be able to manipulate what they're seeing and what they're printing just by using pluses and minuses to easily group data. You can just as easily select these 3 columns and ungroup them and then regroup them. So really, really handy. Hope you like this video. Please come back for more. I want to show you custom views. Custom views do relate to this grouping and ungrouping and also the filtering that we've been doing. Please like and subscribe. See you soon.